So you got the got a lot going on right now.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
You know, fresh off the U20 World Championships, you had what 3 girls on the team yourself from Lehigh.
Yeah, 4.
4.
Yeah,
4.
Mary Manis from Greece, wrestled for Greece. Yeah.
Even better. Okay.
Yeah.
So what did you see from your girls this week?
Man, well, Mary got a last-minute call to make the team, so it was pretty cool of her to make those quick adjustments and game plan real fast and make everything that needed to happen to get here, and did her best. We just didn't get pulled back into repechage, but she's got a bright future and still super young, and so we're excited for her. Cooper's got a few more years of this tournament, and Audrey's just going to come back bigger and better, stronger. So is Aubrey. Man, those girls, they're workhorses, and I just know that this is just going to fuel them. And it was really cool to see. Man, it's really loud. Yeah, it's really cool to see them come in and work through some mindset stuff that I was able to kind of notice this time around. We tried to create a little bit more of a fun environment here, and try and just lighten things up here in the backstage, and just kind of keep things fun. The sport's already hard. There's no reason to make it harder. And I think that we're trying to cultivate an environment and a facility and a culture to where we want to enjoy these things, even when we have some hard times like today, right now. But we're just gonna go back and keep chipping away and have fun while we're doing it again. And we'll just keep doing it.
Let's talk about Audrey a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, great tournament, didn't end the way you wanted to end, but I mean, I think she showed a lot. Got her 3rd silver medal at the U20 Worlds. So, I mean, that's a tough pill to swallow, but also a pretty remarkable accomplishment.
Yeah.
Just talk about her progression and then specifically what she was hitting this week.
Yeah. 1 year ago, Audrey wasn't even able to go for a jog. She wasn't even able to be in a stance, and and it's hard in these moments right now to think about those things. And we had a good conversation right now in the back, but man, she came back from this ACL really quick, and because she's so driven, she's so focused, she's so dialed in. It was one of the fastest recoveries that I've seen from an ACL, and so it's easy to think and just kind of be grateful, right? Oh man, a year ago you couldn't walk, and now it's hard to win a world championship medal. Oh, you have 5? Crazy, right? And I know sometimes it's hard to see those silver linings in moments like this, but when you take a step back and take a deep breath and kind of collect yourself, and you're okay, I got quite a few, and I'm gonna go and continue to get more, and go on all God's plan. And but yeah, I mean, over the past year, I've seen her I was able to take her to and from rehab, multiple times a week, and then seeing her in the mornings before we practice at 6 a.m. and she was there early, and she's already halfway through her rehab before practices even started at 6 a.m. and then practice is going and she's hopping right in, and and then everything was new, right? New team, new place, new environment for her, new coaches, new just everything, right? So she also had to make some adjustments, from what she was used to, and then on top of that, she was injured, and so to come back and chip away, and she had a really successful year, and that was just really cool. But there's just no other person, deserving of that, to come back from that and be able to do what she did. And and we had a pretty good game plan with Japan, and we just got a little out wrestled, and that's the name of the game, and it's hard, but I think that she did a pretty good job sticking to the plan. They're just tough. We just got to figure out ways again and again and again and again, and we'll get it though. We'll get it. I'm proud of her, and I hope she's proud of herself. I know she can't feel that right now, but she will be, and she should be. We all, our whole Lehigh Valley crew, the whole state of Arizona, the whole state of Pennsylvania, the whole world. They love her, and she's hard not to love. Yeah.
Just last thing for you as a coach coming here. What do you get out of a trip like this? Are you able to absorb from other coaches, observe the other elite wrestlers across the country? I mean, you have a good chunk of the team on your team in college, but there's a lot that aren't. So what do you take away from this trip?
Yeah, I talk to a lot of coaches about their processes, what they do in certain situations, what their routines are. All those things matter, and it's fun to pick coaches' brains. I've been like that since I was a little kid. I've been wrestling in the sport of wrestling since I was like, I don't know, 5, and it's always fun. You're watching film. I mean, every night I've been going back to the room and just kind of checking out some film from the tournament, from past opponents. I'm doing film every night and looking at what they're doing, looking at what we're doing, and then how can we add. Talking to our own personal coaches here that I don't really have. So there's some people here that I'm not super close with, but it was nice to be on a trip with them and, hey, what do you do at your program? Hey, how do you do this? And and how can we get better as a country, right? I think that's the biggest overall goal, right? Is to make that happen. And so that's what I'm doing here on these trips. Aside from just being a person of service to my girls, I just want to be a selfless leader, a person, a servant, and not being afraid. God talks about washing people's feet, right? And I'm not afraid to get on my hands and knees and wash my athletes' feet for them, metaphorically, and physically, sure. But and just Audrey asked me a question when before her last final weight cut, and she said, "Coach, do you ever get tired of just always kind of adjusting your schedule and your plans and your day to the athletes and what they need and what they want?" And I'm like, no, that's actually the best part. The worst part is following all the NCAA rules and all those things, and not recruiting, but all the back end work. But I'm like, what? That's the best part of the job. Oh, you want this? You need this? What? How else can I help? How else can I serve? And I'm looking at other coaches. How are they serving their athletes? How are they helping their athletes? How can I add that to me in my life, in my program? So, and how can I continue to make it fun for them, right? Because I think the older you get and the more that we do these tournaments and the more that you're around, I feel like there's an unspoken pressure that keeps coming because it's like, I've done it before, or I'm getting better, or I'm getting older. And so there becomes like a heaviness that comes sometimes, and these athletes, they got to remember to keep things fun. And so I think that's my main thing right now as a coach, aside from just refueling my own brain, is how can I keep this enjoyable for the girls?
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.